Good morning and welcome into Talking Country with the Taste of Country team. I am Wood, host of Taste of Country Mornings with Wood and Nicole. And we've got the full Taste of Country team here, and we've got a lot to talk about. And let's get to it. Addison, introduce yourself and what do you want to talk about today?
Hello, hello. I want to talk about a further detail into Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's divorce, but specifically the divorce documents.
All right. And Billy Dukes of tasteofcountry.com. I know you want to talk about the divorce as well.
100%. Keith Urban, Nicole Kidman divorce, fact versus fiction. Let's clarify the rumors out there and get to the truth of the matter.
And man, there are a ton of rumors. None started by us, of course, even though Evan Paul, I know you already want to start talking about Keith Urban's dating life.
Yeah, I have decided, I figured out exactly who Keith Urban needs to be dating and who he will date moving forward.
All right.
Interesting.
And we're going to get to all that. Plus, believe it or not, I have a topic that's not Nicole Kidman based. I'm talking about the huge mistake that the Super Bowl is going to make. We're going to get to all of that. Plus, if you have not seen the Morgan Wallen arrest video yet, trust me, you're going to want to see that. But before we do any of this, Evan Paul, last week you took umbrage. Good word, by the way.
You're really upping your vocabulary.
Thank you very much. Me smart. But you took umbrage with my trivia question. You said you wanted to do it this week to see if you could stump Billy Dukes. The floor is yours, my friend. Let's get that question.
Okay, I know Billy's going to say this isn't trivia to stump Billy, it's trivia for everybody, but every question, the only thing you can stump Billy with is a heater, and I think I've got it. So This week, here's the question. And Billy, how do I know that you're not going to Google? Can I see? I want hands.
I'm not going to hold my hands up in the air like I'm being arrested for the whole video. You're just going to have to take me at my word here.
Like you're Morgan Wallen?
Okay. In 2000, Tim McGraw and Kenny Chesney were arrested for allegedly stealing a police horse after the George Strait Country Music Festival. What was the horse's name?
Oh my God. All right. Everyone think about that. We will see if we know that at the end.
Where's his hands? Where's his hands? See,
I was typing the trivia question. I'm producing here.
I don't know, dude.
But
we might need to get a camera seeing where your hands are.
Can I say one thing here? I never gloated that I was some sort of trivia expert. I got several in a row right, and all of a sudden I've become a target. It's not my fault I'm so pretty, Evan.
I tried to preface it, but it didn't work.
Well, before we find out if anyone knows the trivia question, by the way, if you do know it, maybe you could drop it in the comments there. I won't peek ahead though.
No, because people are going to Google and then Billy's going to see it.
But let's get to it. Nicole Kidman, Keith Urban, divorce. Billy Dukes, separate the fact from fiction for us.
This has been a crazy, crazy week here. I mean, Nicole, it started, everybody was happy, right? And then all of a sudden, Dolly Parton's getting sick. Keith and Nicole are separating. And then, boom, the very next day, we get news that Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman are getting a divorce. The only real source we have for facts is the divorce filing. And if you go to our channel, we did a whole video on that. It's 37 pages long. This is actual court documents signed by both Keith and Nicole. And it's pretty informative. It's not really a provocative document, but it shares a lot of the details. Everything else that you see is compromised information at best. At worst, it's just sort of made up, fabricated stories. And this includes stories of another woman. So Keith's questionable behavior was a headline that we saw out there in some outlets. I believe People magazine in particular has had no fewer than 40 stories of Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman, which is just an outrageous. And I'm going to share a few of them here. They all source an anonymous source, and about 12 of them dropped right after the divorce became public information. Here's how this works. I'm going to take you a little bit into the sausage here. They're being fed, all these exclusive sources are one person. And if you look at the headlines, they're 100% from Nicole Kidman's camp. There is not a story they reported yet that has anything to do with Keith Urban in a positive light. They're all pro Nicole stories. So you need to kind of identify that and filter all the information through that filter. Wood and Evan, if you were a scorned woman and you were going through a divorce, what is the number one thing you would try to get out there about your ex? What kind of rumor would you want to start about your ex, especially if his behavior in the past was a little suspect?
That the size of his deal is questionable.
Okay. Didn't expect that, but go on.
I was not
anything?
going to go down that alley, but I do find it very interesting that I am of the belief that the person who talks the most right after a relationship breaks up is the reason the relationship breaks up, because it's almost like, hey, I'm going to let everybody know it wasn't my fault, when chances are, I mean, it's usually two sides doing something
Right.
wrong. But to me, I do think it's very interesting that we're getting nothing out of him. We've seen this before. Remember
Nothing.
Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert. Everyone thought Blake Shelton had cheated on her, and he didn't say a word. He didn't deny anything.
Right.
He didn't say anything. And all then years later, like, well, maybe that wasn't the case. It's just one of these things, like, we have no idea what we're behind closed doors.
True, but also my 2 cents is, like, as Keith Urban's publicity team, like, at some point, either we are about to unleash this massive bomb, or we aren't maybe doing our job well. I mean, I'm like,
There's no chance of that.
what, the bomb being dropped?
No, that they're not doing their job right. That promotional team, that Keith Urban's squad is so buttoned up. There's a method to what they're
The
doing.
silence?
For sure. I would say there's a method to this. Something's coming. There's another announcement. Something's coming.
Or he's
I
gonna
don't
drop
know.
a surprise album, and it's gonna be kind of like a Carly Pierce. I was actually gonna say Kelsey Ballerini, and he's gonna dish on their life.
No, not him. He's
Remember,
57.
They got kids. Like, you know
He's
what I
not
mean?
doing
Like,
that.
if you're saying something bad about your spouse in this, you're also
No,
talking about
yeah.
your kid's mom or
No,
dad and
I
all of
agree.
it.
I agree.
So I don't
All
think we're going to hear a word from Keith Urban. And honestly, I think that's the way to go about these kind of things. But I don't know.
I've empowered Addison with a list of rumors, and we're going to unpack each one, fact or fiction.
Okay.
Addison, hit me.
Okay, the first one is Nicole Kidman was blindsided.
Absolute fiction.
Yeah.
The divorce documents reveal that they've been talking about this for at least a month, maybe even months prior. They signed the document on August 29th and September 6th, respectively, Keith and Nicole. And the level of detail of the document indicates that they had been doing some estate planning or some planning on how to split their estate for
Yeah.
at least weeks, if not months prior. This idea that she was blindsided.
Well,
no.
was she blindsided with the ask to be agreed to the divorce settlement?
They haven't lived in the same location for 6 months. That was part of the divorce. Like, they had noted that they hadn't lived on the same property. So,
Okay.
right, Billy? I'm pretty.
Yep. No, you're right. They've been separated for a while, so this wasn't an out of the blue thing. At some point, was she blindsided? Maybe. But was she blindsided by the separation? No.
Fiction. All right.
Okay, the second one is Nicole is getting full custody of her daughters. Their daughters.
She is the primary custody. She's going to be able to see them for 304 days out of the year. Keith is guaranteed, I believe it's 59 days. Essentially, he's going to get Sundays and every other weekend. And then he'll get a chance to kind of insert his vacations with them as he wants. Remember, the oldest turns 18 in July. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's out of the picture in terms of this custody agreement in just a few months. And then the youngest, Faith, is I believe she is, what's the math? She's 15, I think, in December.
Tough age, man. Especially going through a divorce. That's tough, man.
Well, and
Yeah.
such a high profile. You know that kids at school are talking to her about it.
Yeah. You got any more headlines for the fact or fiction?
I've got a lot here.
Come
Okay, Keith has been weird in interviews because he was hiding the news that they were splitting up.
This is fiction. We've talked to Keith. Keith, his entire life has been weird in interviews when it comes to talking about his personal life.
Yeah.
I remember 2010, I talked to Keith on his 5-year wedding anniversary. It was a radio thing. He happened to be playing the city I was a radio DJ in. And it was a great interview. I tried to ask a personal question. He kind of pivoted and got uncomfortable and started moving a little bit. Like, he did not want to talk about his 5-year anniversary at the point. And Nicole was in the building. She showed up on stage with them that night. When Evan talked to him, he was weird again when it came to like her favorite movie. Like he turned the question back on Evan. We can't do a post-mortem on these interviews through fresh eyes because he's always a little bit strange when it comes to talking about his personal life.
Interesting.
Nicole is going to move back to Australia. Question mark?
No.
So I did just confirm that Nicole is still in Nashville. She was spotted hiking in Nashville, I believe, in the last day or two. And some sources are saying
it's
that
the
she
place
got
that
the
I
house.
told you.
Per the divorce document, if she wants to move, she's got to talk to him first. But I don't believe that'll be until after the kids are out of the house, is what people are saying. Right now, this is fiction. Long term, maybe, but who knows what they're going to do long term.
But also, if you recall, she has been talking to Reese Witherspoon about trying to bring more film production to Nashville. So I feel like if you've been in the works over that, you're not all of a sudden going to up and move to Australia.
She's not Australian, right?
No, she is.
She's not Australian.
Oh, she is.
She is?
Yeah.
I knew he was. I actually didn't know that he was.
Australia's got to be rocked by this, man. That's like A1 and AB, bang. Not happening.
Moving forward, when one of Keith Urban's 20 #1 songs comes on Nicole Kidman's radio, what does she do?
She's not listening to the radio. She's Spotify.
No, she's a radio gal. Come on now.
When she's at Walgreens and when wasted time comes on, when I think about your, I better not sing because the internet will think I'm Keith Urban.
But that'd be also saying, like, if she ever walked by a Tom Cruise ad, like, does she close her eyes?
I don't know. One time I brought up Tom Cruise in an interview with Keith Urban, his character in Days of Thunder, Cole Trickle, and you would have thought I said the funniest thing in the world because Keith was laughing, almost fell out of his chair.
Really?
Yeah.
I wish I had that clip still.
Well, speaking of Keith, I've got another one for us. Keith has been behaving erratically.
No.
So this is another one of those people headlines I'm talking about, all coming from the same source, a pro Nicole Kidman source. I don't have no one listed any proof of this erratic or sort of uncharacteristic behavior. I think this is just malicious, right? This is a guy who's had a substance abuse problem, has kicked it, has been clean now for 17 years, I think, 18 years or something like that. It's a way to sort of put him in a bad light. No evidence that Keith has been behaving erratically, or I think this is just it's an awful rumor, if I'm being honest.
The two last ones are kind of spicy.
Okay.
Okay, and they're both Keith Urban. Keith Urban already has another girlfriend? Question mark? There's no way.
No way. None whatsoever.
The only way he does, so again, the official reason for the divorce in the documents was the old irreconcilable differences. There was no mention of cheating or anything like that. If they have been separated for 6 months or more, and Keith had another girlfriend, would that be a horrible crime?
Again, man, the heart wants what the heart wants. If y'all are separated, I don't know. I hate even bringing it up because they got kids. I'm going to say no. I think too much of Keith Urban for this one to be true. So I'm saying no. I say no.
I think if Keith had another girl, we wouldn't know about it because he lives his life so privately. But he's never really appeared like a womanizer to me, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just not his style. He could. He's Keith Urban. He's good looking, but I don't. There's no proof to that. So fiction. Okay,
and then the last one is Keith is dating his guitar player Maggie Baugh. Yeah.
Nah.
Okay, so this one, fiction.
Yeah, fiction.
This all stems from a video posted to Maggie Baugh's Instagram account. The timing was unfortunate because I think it was published to her Instagram account like a day before it was announced they're separated. Here's the video.
Yeah, y'all, I feel so bad for her because, I mean, the internet is ripping her a new one.
Here's the thing about, I'm sorry, but she's an
Evan,
amazing.
Can you let me speak?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'll go after you.
She is an amazing guitar player. She has worked her entire career to get to be this guy's guitar player. There's no way that there's no way that she is in Keith Urban's like focus in that realm. He was just simply welcoming her to the squad
Bingo.
on stage.
And if you've ever attended a Keith Urban concert, he riffs off so often where he'll be playing the fighter, and then all of a sudden, he'll be like talking to the crowd and talking about the location that he's in. Like, Keith Urban never sticks to the script of the exact lyrics of a song. He loves to improvise like that. And so that's just a way of welcoming her, and to your point, and be like, here's my guitar player, let me just be creative.
And if I'm her, of course I'm posting that. Keith
Right.
Urban just changed this
Right.
song about me.
Yeah.
It does have I don't think it is on just unfortunate timing, I believe.
Yeah. So here, to Evan's point there, I think she was probably in the dark on the personal issues he was going through. So she thought, hey, why not post this? I don't think she's the type of girl who would just boast about a relationship one day before she knew news was coming. I've chatted with her. We've covered her on Taste of Country before and done premieres. Sweet girl, talented. She's not out there looking to ruin a marriage.
No.
I feel bad for her.
Well, and plus, this isn't how he's going to be announcing his new relationship. You know what I mean? I was like, hey, I've kept all this buttoned up, but I'm going to go out on stage and do it
And
tonight.
publicly.
Yeah, like, nah. But all right, so we're not going to be wall to wall. More our Nicole and Keith stuff. We do have the Morgan Wallen video coming up in the Super Bowl talk, but I do know, Addison, you have gotten to look at the divorce documents. You said, I'm not reading 36 pages of anybody's paperwork. You did, though.
But I did. But Billy's kind of already talked a lot about the divorce itself. So I'm not going to necessarily go into the weeds, but there are some things that I just think are interesting. So they had to sign, because they have 2 kids, they had to sign a parenting agreement. And during it, they're not asking for alimony or child support. And I think what's interesting is, obviously, since they share the 2 daughters, when it comes to medical expenses, each have to, let's say one of them breaks a leg, they both have to split the cost of the medical expenses. Just thought that was interesting. These are none of these are like right or wrong. It's just like, just so you know.
Yeah.
Keith, we've already talked about how he gets them every Sunday and then every other weekend. But this is the one that I just thought was very interesting. And I do pose a question for everyone here after I share it. So they take whatever is in his or her name when it comes to dividing assets. They've been married for 19 years. They don't have any mutual property like banks, houses, stuff like that, but they will divide household items. So they're going to be dividing furniture, the blender, like who takes the blender?
Toaster,
But
come on.
when I was reading this, I was like, wait, don't y'all think it's odd that they never shared entities such as like a bank account or a house? Like, they've lived in Nashville for forever, and it's like, hey, honey, Nicole, baby, like, you buy the Nashville home. You got this. Like, is that weird, or is that just, like, was that setting them up for not success from the get-go?
Now,
So one
Billy.
thing to that is I read a little deeper into the document, and actually our coworker Sterling Whitaker had to explain this to me. They could have properties in an LLC or some sort of joint company, and that would have terms that dictated what happens if they split up, because it doesn't say they don't have any properties together. It just says they'll take their individual properties and never refers to joint properties.
And that's what I was thinking. Now, I'm poor. Like, I put a toaster on layaway once. Ended up getting it. No big deal. You guys can come over for a club sandwich if you'd like one day. But I think this is like a rich people problem. Like, they have lawyers and stuff that like handle all this. And like, remember, she went through a divorce with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And if that's Scientology, who knows what they kind of did to her. You know what I mean? So to me, I think this is like a lawyer thing. Like, oh, on paper, we don't own anything together, but that's just because it's easier if it ever went like this. You know what I mean?
I mean, I will say feels like the most clean divorce I've ever heard of.
Seems that way.
What the whole thing was to me, go ahead.
It could have been in the works for 15 years. Like, they could have had kids and been like, I don't know. And then they were going to stick it out for the kids until they got to be 18. And then the other one's about to be 18. And they were like, I don't think I can curse. But they were like,
Evan,
whatever.
if that's true, then Billy and we made a video yesterday on YouTube, and I'm not gonna lie, when I was finding B-roll for the video, I now question every single Getty image I've ever seen of the two canoodling together, and
Canoodling, huh?
I've been trying to tell y'all for weeks.
and the red carpet, then be like,
Dude,
huggy. I'm like, I can't. Is love dead?
she's an actress. He's a singer. They had kids and then tried to just stick together, make it all planned out. The reason why they don't talk about each other in interviews is, what are they going to say? They probably barely know each other.
Mm.
Oh, that's an interesting question by
Rob.
Rob. Oh, wait, it
Apparently,
disappeared.
Rob says they signed a prenup before they got married, which makes sense. Again, they were going through stuff, getting together, the divorce with Tom Cruise. And it's Hollywood, man. They're all weird. They all sign prenups and everything ahead of time because they don't have a toaster to split up like I do when me and my wife split up. That's going to be a battle. All right.
Love is dead.
So just to be clear, the divorce document didn't refer to a prenup. It feels very possible that they did have one. I guess the one thing that was interesting to me is someone, my parents are still married, so I never have experienced divorce. If nothing else, this was a really interesting look inside a divorce and how things get split up and the level of detail things are laid out on paper, including their income, which shout out to Keith and Nicole making that $100,000 a month plus. Whoop.
Way plus.
Let's get
more
there.
than that.
Yeah, way plus.
That's
Like
not
the
even $1
free
million.
post
That's
apps.
1.2 a year each. No way. They make that. They spend that on breakfast.
Got that Days of Thunder money still rolling in here. But coming up, we're going to get to Morgan Wallen's arrest video. We've got that, plus the Super Bowl mistake that is going to be a humongous, colossal mistake in someone's opinion. But before we do that, let's wrap up with Keith and Nicole here. And Evan Paul, you say you know who maybe he should date next when it comes to Keith Urban.
All right. Keith Urban needs to get with a girl that does not know who Keith Urban is.
Good
No.
luck.
No, that exists. I will prove my point. I'll prove my point. Earlier today, we heard Addison. You don't even know. She didn't know who James Taylor was. She didn't know who Outkast was. There's a generation. Now, this adds to my point. I'm going to stand up.
I'm like, are you telling me I need to date Keith Urban?
No, no. And don't take, no, I can't even say why. You're too old. Here's why. Keith Urban needs to find a girl that doesn't really know. Oh, you're a rock star? Oh, wow, this is cool. But I'm dating Keith Urban. He needs to wake up next to a college sophomore that is like, who is this guy in my bed right now? And where's he going? Oh, he's going to play music. Oh, that's
He's going
what
to
he
scar
needs.
his daughter's lives if
No,
he dates someone his daughter's age.
What is he? He only sees his daughter 68 days a year. Here's my thing. You can't stop what the heart wants, according to my good friend Wood. What the heart wants, this guy wants to do a reset. He was dating someone that was a little older than he was, or younger, whatever. She's 56, 58, 57. He's a free guy. Let's say he is a good guy and he's never cheated on Nicole. I'm saying after 19 years, when you come up for air,
So your wild oats.
I got all this money. I got all this fame. I'm walking down the street. Girls know who I am. What's up, Keith? What's up?
Okay, well, let's not play favorites over here. So then for Nicole, are you saying she has to do the same, or she could marry?
No, I know who Nicole. No. Nicole is going to date someone that is very wealthy, very classy,
I'm out.
some sort of tycoon, oil tycoon, a billionaire.
So like a Kendra Scott and a Zach Brown situation.
Yeah, exactly. She's going to get a guy that, even though she has her own money and doesn't need it, she would not date below her financial ranking. She's a classy lady. But Keith is going to get caught up at a sorority mixer.
We should probably add allegedly at that point in time. Allegedly.
So
Yeah, rain evident.
I don't think he will be. I mean, that's a not a bad rumor for a guy. I mean,
Well,
whatever.
of course. Oh, Billy, you got one?
No, I'm good.
Don't let Billy. Yeah, don't let Billy comment on my stuff.
Well,
I'm
of
good.
course, we have you covered beginning to end. Everything you need to know about Nicole and Keith and everything in between is up on tasteofcountry.com. We've got the Morgan Wallen arrest video coming up here in a little bit, but I need to talk about the Super Bowl. All right. If you missed it, someone named Bad Bunny has been named to be the halftime Super Bowl performer. And I tell you what, this blows my mind. The NFL is making a massive mistake with this, and allow me to explain. The NBA did the same thing. Does everyone remember Yao Ming?
I don't know why you're looking at me.
Yeah, I don't know why. Do you guys remember Yao Ming?
Yes.
Back to my point about Keith Urban and young girls.
I got a friend, Keith, I'll introduce you to later.
Yeah.
But no, when Yao Ming bust into the NBA went all in on like China. Like we want as many eyeballs in China as we can. And honestly, they forgot a lot of the fans in America. And to me, that's kind of when I kind of started getting turned off to the NBA. The NFL has made this massive push to be worldwide, right? Like they're playing games this Sunday. I got to get up at 9 a.m. and watch the Browns lose in another continent to spread my misery around, right? Don't put them eyeballs down. And I think this move is going to kill the Super Bowl halftime show. It's already just an absolute mess because it takes 50 minutes. It slows down the game, and it's become like this giant monstrosity. I don't know. When I found out who Bad Bunny was, he doesn't even sing songs in English. They're like Spanish spoken songs. I can't explain to my dad what culo means at halftime. I refuse to do it.
Yeah, I will say the influencer world is making, like, there's bits currently on TikTok and stuff of people being like, okay, so here's how you translate Bad Bunny's songs, unless we have subtitles. I will say I only know Bad Bunny from, he played in Happy Gilmore too, and I will say he did a pretty good job, but he's not acting on it. Like that's
well, if he comes out and reads lines off of Happy Gilmore too, I'm going to be even madder than I am right now. But to me, this was the year to do a country
Post
artist.
Malone.
Exactly. We have massive superstars in the world of country that would have rallied together.
Jelly Roll.
And it would have been phenomenal. But instead, we're going to get this. And I think this is a massive whiff by the NFL, who usually doesn't screw up when it comes to PR.
Wood. Bad Bunny's the Super Bowl halftime performer. Are you going to be watching the Super Bowl this year?
Well, that's the other thing. I get it. Like, they want to bring in the people that don't watch football to watch football. Will I watch the Super Bowl? Absolutely, I will.
That's right.
But I'm telling you, you are missing an opportunity here to connect with your A1 fans. If you are coming to watch Bad Bunny, you don't care about the Super Bowl. You just don't.
I'm after Billy.
You might have to kind of squint. I apologize if you got to squint. But this is a look of a Super Bowl demographic breakdown. And there's some columns, a lot of numbers in there, but essentially it shows who's watching the Super Bowl, how many of each demographic.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the bottom, there's all adults. 107.36 million people that were adults watched the Super Bowl last year. All people 18 to 24, 8 million. People, boys and girls under 18, 2 to 3 million. The biggest area for growth for the Super Bowl is young people and people who are un-Americans. This is not the halftime show for you and me. The Super Bowl halftime show is never going to be for the adult who's already going to watch the dang game because you're already watching the game. They are getting that rating. There is never going to be a country music Super Bowl halftime show because why would there be? They already got those fish. They got them. They're there already. There's no reason to do it.
I had a boss.
You're on the ratings tabulation. Plus, all that advertising for Bad Bunny is worth even more because it's geared to one specific audience, that young demographic, maybe even a demographic who's not white. Like those dollars are worth even more to the presenting partner, which I think is NBC this year.
Yeah,
that's just how it is, man.
To go against what you were saying, Wood, I had an awful radio boss one time that when he was firing us, I was like, yo, like we're number 3 in a competitive market, blah, blah, blah. We have fans. And he was like, well, you should be mad at those fans, not trying to super serve them because those fans didn't get you to where you need to be to keep the show alive. So to your point, The fans are there. They don't need to super serve them. They're not doing anything for the NFL. They're there anyway. They're going to get some new fans. Let's get some new fans.
The problem is, and I understand that if you want to slap Bad Bunny in the pregame show, knock yourself out. But when you keep telling your A1 fans at some point in time, you're going to push them away for the new dollars, and all of a sudden, then that base is gone. We saw it with the NBA. People don't watch the NBA anymore. The big reason was they pushed towards China. They went all in on that stuff. And I'm like, here I am in America.
The Super Bowl is bigger than a sport, though.
It is now. But I'm telling you, man, if you keep doing this stuff, you're going to start pushing people away. Now, am I going to watch Super Bowl? Absolutely.
So who are they pushing away?
But I can tell you this much: at halftime, I'm not going to be in front of my TV. At halftime, I'm going to round up another plate of food. I'm going to see what's going on. I'm not interested in this halftime. Bad Bunny, whoever he is, could be in my front yard with a concert and I wouldn't watch.
Don't ask.
That's okay. That's not for me. I get that. But that's my bigger problem here is, in the long run of things, I think this is going to be harmful for the NFL. But
I reject your premise that the NBA is having bad ratings. I'm not sure what your analysis is on that. Like post Yao Ming, they were through like 2020, their ratings were bananas.
And now what are they? They're not good.
All sports ratings are down since the pandemic because there's so many different streaming channels. Like that's changed the whole landscape.
The NFL. The NFL is still king. The NFL is still A1 number one. And you turn in, yes, they'll give you some of the other stuff, but at the end of the day, it's all about the football. That's what people come to care about. And you're asking
the football's still there, though.
Just step aside for Bad Bunny. And by the way, here it comes in the SAP button. Enjoy. I don't know. Oh my God.
I think we're done here.
Well, before we get to Evan's trivia question, we also have Billy's Bonafides and my daughter picking college football games against me. We need to get to this Morgan Wallen video. If you have not seen it, of course, Billy Dukes, I'll let you set up. This is from the video of him getting arrested here in Nashville.
So I'm going to play. I have two videos that I can play for you today. The first one is just B-roll of kind of the general arrest video. You see Morgan here. This is outside of Chiefs in Nashville. And the video just released earlier this month by police shows Morgan exiting the bar.
But in 2024, we should say.
That's right. This is the throwing the chair off the roof incident 18 months ago. Him and his bodyguard are both adamant that he did nothing wrong. And his bodyguard's even kind of funny about it. He's like, you got no witnesses. All you got is accusations. And then pretty quickly they go inside and watch the video, surveillance video, and see Morgan doing it. And but at a certain point, Morgan calls up Eric Church and hands the phone to the cop, thinking like Eric Church is gonna there. And there's the video of the cop watching their surveillance video, thinking that Eric Church is gonna get Morgan out of this. That didn't work out for him. And then finally, he gets put into the back of the police car, and that gets us to our second video here.
This is the best.
This is my favorite. Morgan Wallen back of a police car after he's arrested, and he goes peacefully. It's not a big issue. Where in the world is it?
Only this would happen to Morgan Wallen.
I love this. This reminds me of all my idiot redneck friends so much.
Give me a second. I think I forgot to upload it. But
who's going to describe it?
Oh, trust me, it needs no description. You just sit there and you just let it wash over you. And I think, and by the way, props to Morgan Wallen. Like, he did behave himself with the cops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He didn't big time it. He didn't, like he said, yeah, Eric Church. I think calling Eric Church would have been a good call because he'd been like, hey, he owns the bar and he says it's okay. It's a pretty decent free card.
Here we go.
Oh, this is me and Thomas Rhett. Turn it up. That's me and TR. Hey, Swain. That's me right there. Come on now, me and TR.
I'll tell you something funny. Every song you hear, I had to play with it.
Really? TR is one of the best. He's one of the best dudes in the world. He would definitely not be getting arrested.
That last part, he would definitely not be getting arrested.
You know, his arrest isn't funny, but that's funny.
Right, that's funny.
How about the size of that pothole that cop Morgan was on?
Well, welcome to Nashville, baby.
Thank you.
Yeah. A couple notes here. Morgan's hair was definitely not done up. He looked disheveled. He needed an undershirt. You could see his nipples. And I wanted to see how Eric Church was stored in his phone.
Yes.
But we didn't get to see that. I bet it's
Also-
stored as Chief.
I also
Hey,
hope that Thomas
sweet.
Rhett responds since that video has
Yeah.
been released. I hope he responds.
Thomas Rhett,
Thomas
has
Rhett has so many kids. He probably can't even find his phone to see it. He's under so many kids.
Yeah, or Morgan Wallen called him and one of his kids just sent it to voicemail as they're playing a video game. on their screen. Now, I will say, I just, to me, I think this is perfect. I think it's like a great ending to the whole Morgan Wallen saga and all this nonsense. I think it was a little overblown by everybody. I mean, he made a mistake. He paid his due. It was ridiculous. Like, people were telling him he needed to go to jail.
I mean, someone could have been hurt. But
They could have, but like he's a rock star too. You know what I mean? Like in the 70s, rock stars literally destroyed their hotel rooms, and it was like we look back on it romantically almost. So to me, he went along peacefully. He was cool with the cops. He was having a blast in the cop car. To me, put this up there with George Jones. I think this is a fun one. I think it's a great ending to it all.
He served a little time. I think he did like a week in like a halfway house or something along those
Yeah.
lines.
He's probably in there telling about Thomas Rhett. You know what I mean?
TR boy.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to it. Evan, Paul, before we get to your trivia question, I know you got a very busy week here in studio. What you got going on Taste of Country Nights?
Yeah, so Priscilla Block is hanging out on the podcast, and it was a cool moment that I got to share with her about. Is this? Am I setting up the right clip, Billy, or the
Yep.
wrong clip?
You got the right one, I believe.
Before
This
I
is
get
about
into
her chatting about her big body transformation.
Yeah, so I lost a bunch of weight, like a few hundred pounds, and I felt that this was an angle that I could talk to her about, because no one has talked to her about losing weight, because she hasn't really spoken about it.
Something to get into.
Right. So I used that as my angle to get into it with her, and she actually took it and talked a lot about it.
I've always been pretty confident. Like, I mean, no matter what shape, size I am, like I was always rocking the booty shorts and feeling great. Like, you know, it's just putting on clothes and feeling good and feeling confident. And like, again, you know, back to the whole running thing, which I'm not a runner, proving to myself that like, yo, you can actually run. Like growing up, if I had to run the mile, I was absent.
Yeah.
She is absent. She is not here. I'm serious.
Yeah.
So I always assumed I couldn't run.
Wow, good for you.
You know?
Yes.
So there are certain things that I'm like, okay.
Man, absolutely gorgeous, by the way. If you follow her on her social media channel, she ain't lying about having no problem putting on skimpy stuff. So for all y'all out there.
She looks like Carrie Underwood a little bit now.
I was gonna say she does, yeah.
No, you can
Yeah.
just tell that there's this like effervescence about her that it has always been there, but it's just like a different font.
It's a very, you can, to me, I when I see her, I just think confidence. Like the way she just comes across. It's like she said, she's just very confident in her skin. And that is fantastic, man. She was very cool. Also, we have Lauren Watkins in studio with us. Come tomorrow morning on Taste of Country Mornings. But we've got Billy Bonafide's picks around Billy Bonafide's around the corner. And my football picks are up here next. All right. Now, this is college football. Not as big as a weekend as last weekend, but I beat my daughter for the first time in football picks. I'm so excited, man. And now she wants to take me down this week.
Oh, good luck.
But we put it together here, and I think Billy Dukes has got the video for us. Week number 6 of picking college football games solely based on mascots with my daughter. Boise State taking on Notre Dame. I'm all about Notre Dame. What about you?
The happy horses.
Happy horses. We have Texas taking on Florida. I'm going to roll with Texas. What about you?
I'm doing Miss Florida.
She knows
And
you're
will
wrong.
Alabama get revenge for last year? I don't think so. I'm going Vanderbilt.
I'm doing the mini elephants.
Mini elephants. Woo!
Horns down, baby. Horns down.
She still has no clue whatsoever about football, which says a lot more about my picks than anything. Hopefully you have good luck on your football picks this weekend. Billy Dukes, what do we have in the Billy Bonafides this week?
Number one song this week, Scotty McCreery, our friend. His song Bottle Rockets hit
I
number
love that
one. I'm
song.
not sure anybody had a better week than Scotty McCreery. Number one song sales, Brandon Lake and Jelly Rolls, Hard Fought Hallelujah. And the number one thing to look forward to this week, tonight, Keith Urban returns to the stage in Hershey, Pennsylvania, a whole weekend of shows. Do you think there might be some cameras out between songs during those shows?
But he's so professional. Nothing's gonna happen. That thing's gonna be Bo.
You
I
bet.
thought you were gonna ask. I really thought you were gonna ask. Do you think he's gonna eat Hershey bars?
Well, you're in Hershey,
I was not gonna
Pennsylvania,
ask
baby.
that.
I mean, maybe that's not gonna make news though.
Gotta do it. Gotta do it. All right. And to wrap up Talking Country this week with the Taste of Country team, Evan Paul, give us that trivia question one more time before you give us an answer here.
In 2000, Tim McGraw and Kenny Chesney were arrested for allegedly stealing a police horse after the George Strait Country Music Festival. What was the police officer? What was the horse's name? Officer Horse. What was his name?
The horse name. All right, Addison, you're up first.
I'm just going with literally what first comes to mind. Corn dog.
What? No.
All right.
I feel great about
Corn
it.
dog. I'm going to go, since it's a police horse, Trigger.
Ooh, not it.
That's a good.
Dang,
Good
that's a
call,
good
but
horse name, too.
yeah.
All right. Could Billy Dukes get this one right?
I'm guessing it's a police. I'm giving it like a strong police name. Nothing silly. So maybe something like
Not corn dog.
Lightning.
Ooh.
The horse's name was Russo.
What's that? Who's that?
The horse?
No. I know, but is that someone?
Officer Russo
No.
is the horse.
Where did the word Russo come from?
The horse.
No.
That's his name.
Evan, I'm
Mhm.
We didn't get into why they named the horse Russo. I don't think Evan's research got into like the horse's
Yeah.
mother and father and how many generations he was from Secretariat.
He was
It's just
a
Russo.
police
R-U-S-S-O.
officer.
Oh, there's a
Officer
professional
Russo.
soccer player named Alyssa Russo. Maybe that's what it was.
We'll work on that
Officer
on our
Russo.
side work here in
This is
just a little
25
bit.
years
May
ago,
he
Addison.
rest in peace, by the way. Surely he is not with us anymore.
No, that horse is a glue stick somewhere.
Well, that brings an end to this one.
Jello,
Did I say that out loud? My bad.
Yes, you did. For everyone, thank you so much for watching and commenting on. For all the commenters, thank you so much. We love having your comments. If you want to join us next week, make sure you throw those comments in there. It is so cool to have you guys giving us some live feedback. For Evan Paul of Taste of Country Nights, Billy Dukes of tasteofcountry.com, Addison Hager of Taste of Country social media team, and myself, Wood from Taste of Country Mornings with Wood and Nicole. Thank you for hanging out with us, and good night, Officer Corn Dog, as well.
Russo, my
Russo!
baby.
It's the horse.